From Las Palmas to Saint Lucia, it's ARC time again, celebrating 40 years of ocean adventure.
This is ARC Live.
Hello and welcome to ARC Live again. This is the programme that's covering all the fun from Las Palmas to Gran Canaria as ARC 2025 prepares to set sail tomorrow. It's a 40th edition of the Atlantic Rally for Cruisers, and we're following all the fun that's going on here on the docks. At this stage of the programme, things are getting a bit busier as our crews make their final preparations. We can imagine in this last 24-hour and 48-hour period, they're busy with final crew preparations, including briefings, safety check-in, and also studying the weather, downloading what they need for the passage, and maybe the last-minute provisioning items as well. We've been around on the docks today, and it's building in excitement in anticipation for setting off. So we've got a really good ARC Live for you this afternoon. Hope you enjoy the show. Mats, what have we got going on?
Oh, we have a full program, Paul. So we have an interview coming up with Andrew Bishop, the former managing director of the World Cruising Club. We are meeting the youngest and oldest skippers in the fleet this year. We are, of course, as Paul mentioned, we are going to talk about the weather. We will have the weather forecast as presented for the sailors today during the skippers meeting. And we are also meeting with some former participants.
Great. So this part of the programme for the participants is sort of like wrapping things up of what hopefully has been a really wonderful time in Las Palmas. Yesterday evening we gathered together for our farewell party. It was a really special occasion at the Real Club Nautico where we got together for one final time. The rain didn't quite cooperate with our plans, but we can only control so much. But it was great to get everybody together. And we also heard some words of farewell from the Commodore of the Real Club Nautico, Senor del Castillo, and also some words of welcome or insight of what's coming up on the island of Saint Lucia when we heard from Miss Denise Morissette and Sean DeVoe, the IGY Marina General Manager. So that was really inspiring to hear those words being said during our farewell function. And again, despite the rain, at times we hope everybody enjoyed the evening. This morning we were busy with some administrative things about the rally. We completed the rally checkout, which is our opportunity just to check that all the details that we have about the crew members on board each boat are 100% correct. We'll be sharing those details with maritime authorities and the authorities in Saint Lucia. So it's a real key thing for us to make sure that that is up to scratch. And it's also a great opportunity for us as the Yellow Shirt team to see the crews on the boats visiting the platform to complete those formalities and just having that final word with them before we off to the skipper's briefing at lunchtime today and then before the start tomorrow. So the message is we're having a lot of fun here in Las Palmas, I think, as we make those final preparations. We've got some video of the farewell party from last night which we'd like to share with you.
Nandor, thank you very much for giving us your time here on the ARC farewell party here in 2025. 40 years ago, in the very first edition of the ARC, you were also in Las Palmas to Gran Canaria, ready to sail around the world, and you met Jimmy Cornell. Tell us a bit about that time.
That was fantastic. Everything was different than now. We were somewhere here on the pontoon with our small boat, a 31-footer cruising boat, and we were sailing around the world on the south way. And a nice, partly Hungarian guy told us, "Hi guys, you are Hungarian?" And we said yes. And we started talking, and we learned he's organizing the first ARC race, and now this is the 40th anniversary for that, and that is why we came back, partly with a young team, students, never did it before. It's the first in the ocean, and it's interesting for me to make at least this transit race with 6 really young, really talented, but innocent guys. So I would say beginners, and they are very happy and optimistic. So it is a nice story for us.
If you could just say one thing you're looking forward to most in the Caribbean, what is it?
The Caribbean is a nice, warm place with a lot of welcome situation. Saint Lucia is a very friendly island, friendly people. But that's it for us. I'm sailor, and I'm here because of the youngsters. And after the race, I come home.
Well, enjoy that welcome. Thank you very much, Nandor.
Thank you very much.
So, join me now in the sofa. We have the oldest and the youngest skipper of the Ark Fleet 2025. From Carissa, Raya, welcome. And from Whimsy, Federico. Warm welcome to the studio. Raya, you should never ask about the lady's age, but since you are the oldest skipper, I want to ask, how old are you?
How old? I don't remember. I remembered that I am 80.
80 years?
80 years. Yes, I think so.
Okay. Federico, and you?
I'm 21.
21 and 80. That's a good spread this year. Congratulations to both of you. So, Raya, Carissa, what type of boat is it?
What?
Kind of boat is it?
Old ladies. 45 years old. And very good boat for us.
Yeah. What make is it? What brand is it of the boat?
Svan 44. Svan 44.
Swan 44.
44.
And you, Federico, what are you sailing on?
Also, our boat is a Swan. She's a Swan 48.
Ah, okay. How old?
She's 3 years old, almost 3 years old now.
Okay. So, Federico, is this your first crossing?
Yes, it is my first crossing. Yes, I've been wanting to do this crossing for a while, and my father doing it when he was almost my age, and him telling me stories is now being able to do it makes it more special. Yeah.
Okay. And Raya, have you crossed the Atlantic before?
Yes, many times.
Okay. Have you done it with the Ark before?
Yes, 2 times.
2 times. Which year did you do?
And 1 time Ark Europe.
Ark Europe. Okay. So welcome back then.
Okay, thank you.
Tell me a little bit about your crew, Federico.
So our crew is quite interesting. We're 7 people on board, and we're 3 youngsters. So other 2 guys are almost my age, a bit older, while there are 3 elderly, which are supposed to be the wise ones. And then there's the 7th guy who's right in the middle between us, and he's acting as a medium between the 2 group ages.
Okay. And Raya, the crew on your boat, it's a full female crew.
Yes, full female crew. 8 ladies.
Okay. How have you come together? How do you know each other?
We have a club, Ocean Ladies Club in Finland, and we have members 270.
Okay.
And there.
Okay, okay. We have 1 day to start, and everyone is talking about the weather. Federico, tell me, what do you see in front of you? What are you talking about in your boat?
Well, we're still deciding whether we want to go a bit southern or just go straight to Saint Lucia. We see a bit of rain is forecasted for the few days, so a couple of rain showers will surely pass through, and then we hope to enjoy some sun and trade winds.
And Raya, the weather, have you been checking the weather on your boat?
Weather?
Yes.
Yes. Just now I was breaded wind.
Okay.
And I think so, those slow wind. But I think so that weather is good for us.
I think you will have plenty of different wind during your crossing. So that's quite good. So on the skippers or on the farewell party yesterday, one of your crew members, Federico, came up to me and said that he have seen our previous broadcast and that we showed pasta storage from one of the Italian boats, and he told me that you have more pasta, and we had a look on your boat today. Federico, can you beat the other boat in the pasta?
Of course. I mean, come and see a true Italian crew how much pasta brings.
So Whimsy Remax 10.
Yep, and we also have flour. We're about to bake bread, so totally in the wind. No chance for Remax. I'm sorry, guys.
Thanks, Ryan and Federico, for being here, and fair winds to both of you. Well, walking up and down the pontoons here in Las Palmas, we can hear all the stories told by skippers and crew. That's just amazing. There are stories and there are stories. Here is one pretty impressive. We are on board Celeste of Solent, a FAR 65 that has been doing many arcs with us and are doing World Arc this year as well. And I'm sitting here together with the skipper Mats. Good to have you here.
Thank
and
you.
Good to be on board. You left Lagos in Portugal a few weeks ago, and last Thursday, tell us what happened.
We left Lagos, yes, and have been there on the yard and done some renovation and changing turbo on the engine and things like that. And last Thursday we had a strange sound from the engine, and we turned it off and looking into the engine apartment, and it smoked heavily, and it was no oil in the engine, and what you call it, ventilkåpspackning.
The top of the engine, yeah?
The top of the engine is a gasket that will have blown, and no oil in the engine, and that's mean that something heavily have happened to one of the cylinders.
Yeah, and this was Thursday lunchtime or afternoon time?
Yes, we was tugged into the harbor like 9 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah, and you found it out just 20 nautical miles out,
Yes.
something like that?
Yes.
Yeah. So you were towed in on Thursday night, or yeah?
Yes.
And then on Friday, how did you start? What did you do?
The first thing I contact you if we could sail without engine. But that's maybe not the perfect things to do. So I went into this yard here and asked him if they could change the engine and how fast it would take. And he said, "You should be here. Should have been here yesterday." Why? Because a ferry leaving Spain tomorrow, and yesterday was the last
day to send it.
Yes, and come on, you can do it, I said to him, and he called heavily, and he get the warehouse in Spain, Janma warehouse, to have open 1 hour later to get out the engine from the warehouse, and fast courier who's drive it down to the ferry, and the ferry come here in Las Palmas Monday, and we're lifting on board the engine like 3-4 o'clock.
So you hauled the boat out on Monday?
Yes.
Yeah. And the new engine was then arrived already?
Yeah, I had to take the old engine disconnected. So they lift it out, and half an hour later they lift the new one in.
Impressive.
But then they have a real rough time to adjust the engine foots.
Yeah.
It took a whole day for them to adjust that. But when that was okay, then they could speed up the work. We went into the water yesterday morning, and we was out test sailing yesterday afternoon.
So from a total breakdown to a brand new engine in a boat in Las Palmas in a week's time.
Yeah.
I mean, that must be some form of
5 days, 4 days.
Some form of record. And now you are starting tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah. And the feelings on board?
The crew is very happy to be on board. I'm tired.
I can understand that. So, how many days do you plan for the crossing? What do you think after seeing the weather forecast today?
Yes, it's a bit disappointing, the weather forecast today, but my guess is like around 15 days.
Okay. Mats, very nice to hear your story, and best of luck and fair winds across the Atlantic.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. A really incredible story there of getting back on the road after arriving in Las Palmas with an engine that was unfit to start and getting everything changed. Also a really good demonstration of how the partners around the marina here work with ARC participants to support them in what they need. Difficult getting it all done on time, but there is a deadline to work to, and as you could tell there, everything was moved to reach that deadline. So now we're going to be talking about the fun competitive side of the ARC. It's very much a rally and not a race for most of the participants of the ARC, and it's definitely the cruising spirit, the Corinthian spirit that shines through more than a heavy competitive race. So how do we manage that at World Cruising Club? Well, each boat in the cruising and multi-hull division is given a rating. We call it a time correction factor, or TCF. So those TCFs are calculated based on the dimensions of the boat's sail areas and the hulls, and also the displacement which the boat makes. And then we have a order of which we think should be the fastest boat round to the slowest boat. And having ranked them in order, then we divide the division into different classes. You're seeing on the screen now how we've divided into roughly 20 boats in each class of the cruising division. And this essentially allows the boats to focus in within their class to who else is around them and who the TCFs would say should be finishing around the same time. So we have 5 classes in total in the cruising division, and the fastest boats, expected fastest boats, are in class A and through to class E, where we expect the slower boats to be with the lower TCFs. So that's how we operate in the cruising division. We also have the IRC racing division. This works slightly differently in that we receive the IRC details from the council, and we don't do any adjudication on that, and it allows the boats through independent authority to race against one another. So sadly we had a few withdrawals in the racing division over the recent days, boats that were caught out with weather systems to get down to the Canary Islands, and a few mechanical problems as well. So the racing division is a bit smaller than it was a couple of weeks ago. I think we had 17 boats registered and now down to 10. But that'll be a really competitive division, and we look forward to them seeing them on the start line tomorrow lunchtime. We also have the multi-hull division, which again World Cruising Club organises a time correction factor for. You'd expect the boats with the same make and model and the same downwind sails would be comparable, or indeed the same, on the TCF listings. And with 30 odd multi-hulls taking part in the ARC this year, we've again divided the fleet into 2 classes. Class A, where we expect the faster multi-hulls to be featured, and Class B, those with lower TCFs. So that's how the classes look. The information is available publicly on the YB Races app, so if you want to check out any of the details for a boat you're following, then you'll find the boat listed and their TCF or IRC rating on the YB app. You can be following them as they go across the Atlantic, but just be careful, because in the cruising and multi-hull division we do allow boats to use their engines, and you just heard from Celeste there, and maybe the winds will be a bit light to start the crossing. So if a boat does choose to use their engine, we ask that they accurately record their engine hours on their leg declaration performer, and in years when we expect people not to use their engine, there'll be a heavy penalty for using the engine, and in years where the winds are lighter and maybe that assistance is needed to get to the destination, then the penalty will be far less. So that penalty is somewhere between 1 and 2, and it's calculated at the end or towards the end of the rally when the majority of boats have arrived in Saint Lucia, and we can review the conditions, wind conditions, sailing conditions across all the routes and across all classes. So that's how we deal with motoring. We had a skipper's briefing today, which was an important event for us. It's our opportunity to share with the fleet details of the sailing instructions so that we can make sure we have a safe and enjoyable start to the rally tomorrow. So during the skipper's briefing, we covered things like the sailing instructions in more detail. And we also got to present the weather from Chris Tibbs, and we'll be hearing from that later on in this live. We also outlined the support which World Cruising Club provides to the fleet in terms of communication and providing weather information and positions as well. So a really important briefing that took place at lunchtime today, and hopefully following that briefing all the crews feel fully prepared about the start to make it a safe and enjoyable occasion, and also the route to Saint Lucia. By the time of the skipper's briefing ended, we also touched on arrival information for Saint Lucia, what the boats can expect. There'll be a boat anchored at the finish line in Rodney Bay, Saint Lucia, which will be listening out on the radio, ready to welcome them into Saint Lucia and congratulate them on crossing the finishing line. And then, as we've heard, that warm welcome that will await once they touch the pontoons in Rodney Bay Marina. The details for the start for Sunday. So if you're planning to watch the starts, there's a few options that you can do. You might like to go to the Marina Breakwater, where you can see the boats exiting from the marina. Probably the best time to do that would be between 11 and 11:30. The boats will sort of like process out of the marina, and there'll be a good atmosphere on the pontoons as we have a local band playing as they depart the marina, and any friends and family here in Las Palmas can see them depart as well. So a really fun occasion. But we go about half a mile south of the port of Las Palmas to find a safer area to deliver the start. So on the screen there is the starting area, and for tomorrow we're operating an inshore and offshore line. In between the two will be a committee vessel. It's a substantial patrol boat from the Spanish Navy, the Tornado, and that's where we give all the sound signals and the flags signals from as well. So with the boat stationed in the middle, either side we have the inshore and offshore lines. And our first start will be for the multi-hull division. They start at 12:30, and they'll use the offshore line of that's available. And then at 12:45, the racing division will cross on the inshore line, and then the cruising division at 1300 on the offshore line. So we're not alternating between offshore, inshore and offshore. The reason being is we can just divide the fleet and give the racing fleet a bit of space for their manoeuvres on the inside line, and then making use of a large, long offshore line for the cruising division and multi-hull division to make the start as safe as possible. Of course, we are with cruising boats, so they handle slightly differently, probably leaving here from Las Palmas, heavy with provisions for the journey across, so we need to make sure that we've got room to manoeuvre. And the closing remarks from the skipper's briefing today was that it's a marathon, not a sprint. Those few extra meters on the start line, in the whole scheme of things, are probably not going to make too much difference. So I really hope that the skippers and crews heed that advice tomorrow. The start is a real spectacle, a real exciting time for those participating and also spectating from the shore. And what we're going to do now is just have a look at the video from last year's start and see the excitement as the boats crossed over the line. So there you have it, the start from last year's ARC, a real spectacle and hopefully really appropriately marking the end of our time here in Las Palmas and giving excitement and expectation to the boats as they set off west towards Saint Lucia. So we're really looking forward to the start, and I think many of the participants for ARC 2025 are too. So it's a busy time here, but we've had a few visitors to Las Palmas. We've had visitors from Saint Lucia to give us an insight on what's in store for them, on our participants on the other side of the Atlantic. And we've also had some other special visitors as well. I caught up with Andrew Bishop, my predecessor at World Cruising Club, former managing director. He has sailed in the ARC himself, and he held the helm of the Atlantic Rally for Cruisers for a number of years. It was great to have a chat with him and find out how things have changed and how things are the same. Here's what he had to say. Hello, and I'm here with Andrew Bishop, previous managing director of World Cruising Club. Andrew's visited Las Palmas to join us here for the 40th edition of the ARC. Andrew, it's great to have you with us. Thanks very much for joining us. Hope you're enjoying yourself during your visit.
It's absolutely fantastic to be back in Las Palmas after a break of a couple of years. So thank you for encouraging me to come back.
Cool, well, great to have you. So, what does the ARC mean for you personally, looking back over your involvement over the many years, both as a participant and also running the rallies?
I was very fortunate to participate first, and it was that participation that then led me into wanting to come and work for World Cruising Club and eventually running the ARC. And it's been a fantastic journey. It's been an interesting journey through the different sort of states of ownership of the company, but it's been a lot of fun. It's always a great pleasure to see so many boats gathering here in Las Palmas to Gran Canaria, looking forward to their crossing to the Caribbean, and the stories that come out of that, just in the journeys from getting here, but also then in the actual crossings themselves. It's always fantastic to hear, and I think one that will stick with me for a very long time is when I spoke to a French boat on arrival in Saint Lucia, and the owner of the boat said to me that for him the ARC was so special because he had his son with him, and he said, my son started the crossing as a teenager, but he's arrived in Saint Lucia as a man.
Yeah.
And to me, that just sort of summarised what it can mean to people, that the actual participation in the event is very special.
Yeah, and that's something you can particularly relate to because your own experience when you crossed in, was it 89, was with a similar crew makeup on board?
It was indeed, but I wasn't a teenager, I was a grown person, but yes, it was a father and son, and we each had a friend sailing with us, so there were 4 of us. And it was a good dynamic, and it was a good crossing.
Oh, and what kind of boat was that on?
That was on a Freedom 39, so a cat rig schooner.
And how was that for you and the crew?
Well, we enjoyed getting to learn how to sail Freedom because it's unstayed masts, and it's a little bit different. Very fast downwind, but hopeless upwind. And so for the ARC, it was fantastic, and we did reasonably well. We didn't win our class, but I think we were 19th overall, which wasn't too bad really.
Yeah, and having participated in that event, and then seeing the development of the ARC in subsequent years, and maybe now coming back to Las Palmas this weekend, what sort of like changes are you seeing over the years within the ARC?
Well, I think the big change is the formalisation of the programme here in Las Palmas. In particular, where in the early days it was all sort of a bit hit and miss, and it soon became a much more organised event, and it was that really changed it. There were fears at one time that when the challenge business was involved that it would become too commercial and we'd have lots of charter boats, but we managed to stop that happening. I mean, it wasn't a conscious thing to stop it happening, but it didn't happen. Mm-hmm. So we've maintained it as an event for cruising sailors. Yes, we have a racing division, but it's a small percentage of the fleet, and it's that mix. It's the mix of people, the mix of different backgrounds, the nationalities, the experience, and everything else that makes it so special.
Yeah, and certainly when you're here in Las Palmas, that's what makes the fun socialising, because it's such a diverse group of people. Over the years, what about changes you might have seen on board the boats? How their attitudes might be to sailing across the Atlantic, what equipment they have on board and anything like that? Any changes and trends that you've noticed?
Well, I think definitely the big change obviously has been with communications and the development of far more powerful and far-reaching communications with satellite technology, and that really has changed the event for people to communicate with home, but also for family and friends to be able to follow where the boats are and what they're doing. That, I think, would say is the biggest single change, but also the price drop of extra equipment. So for instance, water makers, which have been out of the reach for many in the early days, now much more common amongst the fleet. Refrigeration again is more widely fitted, and just generally the level of safety. And World Cruising Club, I know, go to great lengths to make sure that the boats comply with the safety equipment regulations that are enforced, but they're all there for good reason. And the wearing of life jackets, to me, is one of the single most important things for the crew on the water. Yeah, absolutely. And you're here in Las Palmas. The weather's not so great today. Normally dry and sunny here, but nonetheless, I hope you're enjoying your trip to Las Palmas, Gran Canaria. What's your memories of the island as you've been visiting it over the years? Oh well, Gran Canaria is a fantastic island. There's always places to see. It's important to encourage the participants to get out of the marina, and that's what World Cruising is very good at doing in all the places that the events go, is to make sure that the participants see more than just the local bar in the marina. And certainly Gran Canaria has got so many different dynamics on the mountains in the middle, the dunes in the south, the rum factories. It's a great island to visit, as are all of the Canary Islands. Yeah, and one of the projects of the Ark is Forester. That's something you set up more than a decade ago. How proud of you of that initiative and seeing it happening still now? I'm really pleased to see it still happening, and it was launched on the 25th edition of the event. It's a way of trying to help with carbon offsetting for the fleet, and it's just been really popular. And the participants that take part every year that go to, I'm not sure if they still dig a hole, but we used to dig the holes. They still do. Dig a hole and plant a tree. Yeah. And it's a good thing to do, but it's also a fun thing to do, and it introduces people to other participants, so they get to know each other, but also they see another part of the island. And I know that my tree that I planted 15 years ago is still there, and I'm sure it will be growing well. And it's great that the Ark continues to do the project. Yeah. So it starts on Sunday. So for anybody participating in this edition of the Ark, or maybe in future editions, what would be your one piece of advice to pass on to them? Well, for anybody that's thinking about participating in the future, just do it. And for those that are setting off this Sunday, enjoy the journey. The destination is important, but it's the journey that's more important. Yeah, absolutely. Andrew, thanks very much for passing on your thoughts to us, and also for joining us here in Las Palmas for a really special edition of Ark this year. It's really great to have you with us. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, that was Andrew Bishop, the former managing director for World Cruising Club. And now, time for what everyone is talking about here on the pontoons, the weather. And we're happy to give you the forecast as presented on the skippers meeting earlier today.
Good afternoon and welcome to the weather briefing. I'm Chris Tibbs. I'm a meteorologist, but I'm also a sailor. So let's have a look at what weather we've got at the moment. This is the synoptic chart for last night. And we can see here we've got this area of high pressure, the Azores high, close to the Azores, ridging across towards Spain. We've also got this little trough of lower pressure down the African coast. Now, this has given some cloud. We can see cloud over the islands. This is bringing some showers, but by tomorrow, these showers should have cleared. And I'm expecting a brighter day tomorrow with some long sunny intervals. For tonight, the synoptic chart is showing the high pressure ridging still from the Azores to Spain. We've got this trough of lower pressure just off the land, and we've got a fairly east to northeasterly flow in the trade winds. Now, if we go forward again to tomorrow night, after you've just left, we've got the trough not too far away, quite easterly flow in the trade winds, and the Azores high sitting pretty well over the top of the Azores. Then as we go into next week, high is still in place, quite easterly, the trade winds with the isobars going east to west. So that circulation around the high giving us a fairly easterly trade wind. But they will be disturbed by the remains of that trough. A little bit further forward in time, we're seeing that for midday on Wednesday, the remains of the trough will be to the west of us, well, west of all but the very fastest boats, I suspect, and down to the south between the Canary Islands and Cape Verde Islands, a much clearer area with much less rainfall. That's going to stay similar into Friday, and a long way away in just over a week's time, we can see a not dissimilar pattern at in a week's time, the end of next week, next Sunday. But we will see, particularly to the north, some rain and some squalls. So what are we looking at for tomorrow? We got the high pressure established to the north, the trough of low pressure slowly moving west and predominantly easterly winds. So that's going to give us fairly light winds in the morning, and they're going to be around to the southeast. What's happening is the wind is coming from the east, it's hitting Gran Canaria, and it's tending to split so that north of the midpoint, which is around the airport, north of the airport, we're looking at more southeasterly winds, and south of the airport, more northeasterly winds. So at start time, there might be some acceleration through the harbour. So we're looking at fairly southeasterly winds, probably 8 to 13 knots. So probably not coloured sails for the start, but a light beat to get you away from Las Palmas. We've got some swell between the islands. It's going to be north to northeasterly, the swell, at around about 1.5 meters with an 8-second period. Now, as we get down the coast, this file shows it quite clearly that the wind very easterly tending to split to the southeast as in the northern part of the coast and going round to the northeast at the on the north as we get south down the island. Our usual acceleration zone won't be there, but what will be, it'll have rotated around with the direction of the wind. So I'm suspecting a little bit more wind, probably 13 to 18, maybe 15 to 20 knots down off the southern tip of the island. And then when we go through into Sunday night, early Monday morning, the models are indicating that we will have an area of acceleration away from the island, probably about 18 to 23 knots from a little bit north of east. So once you're away from the island, do expect a build in the wind on early Monday morning, late Sunday night. And then as we go into Monday, we're feeling the effects of this trough, and it's going to go quite light and variable. I've put on there a line at about 150 miles from Las Palmas. So we'd expect people to be somewhere along here, and it will be quite variable, quite changeable around the clouds. There will be a few showers, although those are expected to be more to the west. So as we get into Monday and Monday afternoon and evening, I expect the wind now to be round to east to southeast. So there will be a time when you might be hard on the wind, but it'll quickly pass. Then when we're looking at midday on Tuesday, we are seeing a split in the route, really. We've got this area of rain and cloud and a stronger wind up to the north going over this area of lower pressure, and the beginnings of the trade wind starting to the east when the boat's heading down towards the Cape Verde Islands. In between, we're going to have cloud, we're going to have rain as the pressure lowers, and we've got this little area of low pressure. That can be seen more clearly by Wednesday, where the trades are down near the African coast. Large area of light and variable winds, probably a small area of low pressure forming here. And then to the north, the winds are going to be accelerated over the top of that low pressure. Now I've split the route into two here. The red here, I suspect some of the racing boats will attempt the northerly route. It looks like you'd get into stronger wind. Just need to be a little bit careful here because different models show the area of this low pressure a little differently. So this could be a little bit further north, and you'd have to go further north to get the stronger winds. For boats following a more traditional route, by midday Wednesday, you'll be in light trade winds, and those will slowly build over time. That's what I've said, written down now, that straddling of the route with the lower pressure. And it will be stronger to the north, but you'll get more squalls, more rain, and the risk is that that low moves a little bit north, and you have to keep pushing further north to keep in the wind. And for the outlook, we've got the trade winds stronger to the south and quite easterly. The wind will be stronger to the north, but more variable. And if we look by midday Thursday, I've highlighted where the remains of the trough is likely to be. So if you're just skirting the top, quite strong east to northeasterly winds. If you're coming round the bottom, fairly nice trade winds, 10 to 15 knots. South of the island on Monday, swell's going to be a little bit variable around the islands, but mainly from the northeast to around about half a knot with a fairly short period of about 5 seconds. This will give us a significant wave height of between 3/4 of a metre and a metre. Remind you that the significant wave height is the highest third of all waves. So with the route, to the south of Las Palmas, there are some fish farms and wind turbines in the bays to watch out for. And when you get down the south of the island, you'll have a choice, the northerly route or the more traditional route. I'm pretty sure the northerly route will be faster, but the risks in skirting low pressure is going to be higher. So you may get caught in a lot more rain, more squalls, and there is some uncertainty between the models. There is also the likelihood of a front in early December. So at some stage, you'll need to take a big dive to the south. Southerly route, light and variable to begin with, but into Tuesday, Wednesday, you will have picked up the trade winds, and you should then keep them for the rest of the passage. Between the two, if you were going to go on a more direct route, you'd go through the trough, lighter winds, more variable, and some fairly heavy squalls. I put a waypoint on as a rough guide for taking the more southerly route. I'd be tempted to get down to about 20 north, 24 west before heading directly to Saint Lucia. We do have current along the route. It's the Canary current, and we can see on here there's only light current to the south of the islands, a little bit more if you're going on the northerly route. So final recap, light and variable at the start, probably beating until you're past the airport, and then the wind will back more to the east than the east-northeast. Would expect a band of wind, 18 to 23 knots overnight for a while, little bit of acceleration close to the south coast as well. And I'd expect light trade winds to develop on a southerly route, but you'd need to get through or around the trough and the low to the west. I just checked a few minutes ago the barometer at the airport, if you would like to calibrate your instruments, was 1,020 millibars. To watch for, the long-range forecast is indicating a cold front in early December. Now, this will probably affect the northerly boats rather than the southerly boats, so something for northerly boats to watch out for. And there could be a secondary low forming on this cold front just to the west-southwest of the Canary Islands. I would keep an eye on that, keep an eye on the long-range forecast, particularly if you're on the northerly route. 40 years ago, I skippered a boat in the very first arc. It is a fabulous route, and I'm sure you will all enjoy it. Although the technology's changed, the wind, the weather is still very much the same. It's a great route. So watch out for squalls, because that's probably the most variable thing to watch out for, and the thing of most concern. But more than anything else, be safe and enjoy it. Thank you very much.
Well, great to hear from Chris Tibbs there, giving that really comprehensive weather briefing that was presented at the skipper's briefing earlier today. That may not have been the weather that everybody was hoping for the start of the arc, but it's a safe forecast, and maybe it'll encourage the boats just to be slightly patient and give them the opportunity to settle into life on board for that first night or two before heading southwest maybe, and to pick up some nice trade wind conditions. So really great to hear from Chris there, and we'll be supporting the fleets with weather information as they cross on a daily basis, delivered from Raleigh HQ. So I'm now joined on the sofa with two familiar faces here in Las Palmas, previous participants of many editions of the ARC. I'm joined by Lars Hedman from San Vita and Thomas from Adrian. Welcome both to the sofa, and thanks very much for joining us.
Oh, thank you very much, Paul.
Yes,
Thank
it's
you.
Of course a busy time the day before start, but you guys have done this all before, so maybe you're more relaxed before departing.
No, I think we've gone. Many things go like routine. We are ready to go.
You're ready to go.
Ready for the moment, yes.
That's good to hear. So San Vita, tell us about San Vita. What kind of boat's San Vita, and who's sailing on board this year?
Yeah, San Vita's a Beneteau first 47.7, so we bought 2013 and sailing arc since 2014 with her, and we do the World Arc 17-18. So this is my 15 arc, because I was sailing earlier as Swan 59, 19 drop, many years. And after that I have a break for 2 years between the boats. And we're still going on, and we are really fully booked. So 28 maybe gonna be the last year, we don't know yet.
We hope not. We hope not.
We are fully booked for 3 years more.
Okay.
So it looks good.
Good.
Always fun. I love to sail over the Atlantic. It's a freedom.
Yeah.
Caribbean is okay, because we do charter in Caribbean, and this year we are fully booked all the way from now to the end of May, when we're coming back to Portugal, because we leave the boat in Lagos over the summer.
Ready for another circuit.
Yeah, so it's going round.
And Thomas, tell us about Adrian. What kind of boat is she, and who's sailing on board this year?
Yeah, Adrian is a Gypsy 51. We sail, Tanya and me, we sail this boat since 2010. We made also 15 arcs, one arc world, and yeah, we enjoy the arc spirit, everything. When we came here to Las Palmas, for us it's coming like home, and we have a lot of people that we know already from the arc family. As we live on the boat the whole year, so this is our family and our friends, and we enjoyed it really to take part. We do also charter, and we have 6 guests this year. Every year we have 6 guests. We also booked the whole time. I counted. We had just with the arc over 90% that we brought over the Atlantic.
Yeah.
And this is a good thing for us. And
well, it's fantastic to be introducing to sailing, an ocean sailing, people who don't have their own boat necessarily, and they're coming with an experienced boat that's crossed before, and they really benefit from that experience. But also sailing with new people and in a new environment as well.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing. I think is fun is you meet a lot of new people every year, and someone is not so experienced, someone has more experience, but the most important thing, we have fun. Absolutely fun when we're sailing, and the best prize is not coming first in the arc, is because then we should be in the racing class, but we are in another class. But the best prize for me, we are happy, we have fun when we're sailing. The boat is not too broken, and we're still friends when we come into Rodney Bay. That's the best price.
Absolutely.
Absolutely the best price. And many of them, some have sailing with us, we are so good friends today and keep going. And all the yellow shirts have been very good friends here. In Rodney Bay the same. And the circle will get bigger and bigger.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I meet so much, probably Thomas too, we meet so much people. So I met some Swedish couple here today. Hi Lasse. And then, I don't know where we met. Oh, we met you 4 years ago in Azores. Oh yeah? And then it started.
Well, that might be a question, really. With so many arcs under your keel, I mean, do they all merge into one, or are there ones that you remember in particular times that you participated?
I think it's not so really that you have one particular. Of course, you have some people that you remember much more than others, but yes, it's the same thing.
Okay.
We try to. We spoke. 2 minutes ago that are you ready? Of course we are ready, but we try also to show the people they are nervous, they don't know what, and we show them the tension keeps going up, and we don't say well, we know it already. No, we go with them to
So what experience would you pass on? Sorry, what advice would you pass on to those less experienced than yourselves if maybe this is their first arc? What would be your golden advice?
Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Safety first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't take any stupid decision because you want. I want to be a half hour faster and my neighbor. Don't take it. Don't do it, because when you start racing, then you start break the things.
Yeah, look after the boat, look after the crew.
Yeah.
Reef early.
Reef early. Use the preventer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the preventer is one of the
mostly important.
Most important thing.
And what advice would you give about exploring the Caribbean? You know the Caribbean well. Do you have any favourite places you like to visit?
Yeah, we do also charter, like Saint Lucia do, and of course we know a lot of good and nice places. The south is probably a very, very good region to explore.
You mean south of Saint Lucia?
South of Saint Lucia, I mean the Grenadines. This is the really nice place.
That's Caribbean.
Yeah,
because the more north you go, the more north you go, the more American you meet. I like south.
So just one thing, and you have to go south to the Grenadines because they were so hardly touched by the last hurricane. Everything was broken, so they need us that we go there, that we bring the clients, that we bring the money, and that they can look forward. And we have so many nice friends there. They don't give up, and this is great.
Great. So that's your plan for Christmas and New Year, is it, to go south and visit some of the islands south of Saint Lucia?
Yes, we start the first cruise on the 27th of December. Christmas we will spend both of us without clients, so that we enjoy it as well. And then we go south. We have 4 or 5 cruises south to the Grenadines. Spend some time in Maastricht for the Blues Festival, what we do every year, which is really nice. And
very good.
No, I'll fly home. No, well, for the first time I'm gonna spend Christmas and New Year with the family. I don't do it so often. And Oscar, we are always 2 skippers on San Vita when we're crossing, so he's gonna take the boat and meet up. I'm gonna meet up in January, 6th of January. So my charter season starts 11th of January.
Probably a slightly colder experience than Christmas in the Caribbean, so be ready for that.
Yeah, oh yeah. Anna is always, because I am always coming home in shorts and flip-flop, no matter.
And we were just listening to Chris Tibbs's forecast there for the start. Do you have any comments on that, given your experience? What are you thinking?
Yeah, for me, it's of course. We have. I have a charter boat, which is not very a high-performance sailor, and so when we go, when we make a decision to go very far north, for example, we never can the way that we do, we never can gain this in speed. So for us, it's go straight on with a little bit touch of the south, maybe to get the trades earlier and then go straight on to Saint Lucia to get some nice rum punch, some nice yellow shirts there waiting for you.
But we have almost the same plane. So
okay. Well, we look forward to following your progress on the YV track, and of course being there in Saint Lucia when you arrive. So it sounds like you're ready.
We are ready.
Yes.
Okay.
We have the last dinner tonight, and a nice dinner.
The last supper.
Last supper, yeah, for sure.
Well, enjoy your evening with the cruise. We were out and about on the docks earlier today, and we were asking that same question: are you ready?
You're about to cross the Atlantic. Are you ready?
Yes, ready is my middle name. We're always ready.
Are you ready?
Yeah, we are excited. Happy to go. Boat is ready, team is ready, so let's give it a go.
Ready to go. Happy that the boat's ready. I'm looking forward to some fast miles to the other side.
Are you ready?
Yes, of course.
I am, absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. Not at all. We have to sleep before and to buy some things.
Yeah, we're getting there. So, definitely.
Ready.
We have never been more ready. We're happy to go.
100%.
Yeah, I think so. You're never ready, are you?
I'm super excited.
I think we're ready.
Well, I'm not going, you are. I'm just coming to say
She's going to
goodbye.
fly there and meet me there.
Oh, the easy way.
British Airways route.
Oh.
Excited, slightly hungover, but yeah, I think we're good to go on that side.
Oh yes, since a week. We are like the horses in the starting box. Now. Go!
Yes! We are!
Well, great to hear those stories from the docks, and thank you again to Thomas and Lars for sharing their experiences of many arcs in the past. Mats, I think we're wrapping up our programme for today, but we've got some live coverage of the start tomorrow, so tell us what's going on.
Paul, tomorrow is the grand finale. We are going to bring you live broadcast in the radio and live as you're watching now. So we are starting at 0800 tomorrow morning, UTC with the radio. Tune in on arclive25.com. We will do the dock walks, we will have the last minute interviews and bring you all the stories from the docks until 09:30. 9:30 is that UTC time. And then we are going live for the dock out. So 10:30 when the dock out is opening, we are going to be live on Facebook and YouTube, and that is until 11:20. So 10:30 to 11:20 we are live. And then we have a break, we reorganize ourselves, and from 12 o'clock, Paul, then we go live on from the start. So we will have cameras on the committee vessel, we will be in the air, on the water, and we will try to create magic if the technology is working with us.
Well, let's really hope we can do that. The program down here in Las Palmas has gone really well. We hope that our participants are feeling excited and well prepared for the start tomorrow, and we really look forward to sharing that coverage with you, so you can see what goes on down here in Las Palmas. And if you are following a particular boat or group here on the ARC 2025, that you can see them out on the water tomorrow. So we're wrapping up now. Can I say thank you very much to our team here for making this possible. Thank you very much for joining us from home, and please do pop back and see us at those times tomorrow when we present the start from ARC 2025. Thank you.